We were super interested when we heard from the Forest admin team about the workflow. With the volume we get, 4,000, 5,000 new accounts to check every week, it's not possible to not do human mistakes. For one account, it's more than 20 steps we need to check. To make sure we are 100% compliant for every case, we needed to go to the next level.
Hi, and welcome to Mission Ops Possible, a podcast for and by operation leaders. I am Guillaume, the head of marketing at Forest Admin. At Forest Admin, our team and our solutions are fully dedicated to operations. So we created a podcast fully dedicated to operations too. In each episode, I invite a different operation leader to speak about their vision, their tips, and their stories in the trenches. And on that front, today's guest is not going to disappoint. My guest today is Martin Bouvier, who is working on the onboarding processes at Qonto. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
I'm very glad to have you here on the podcast today. Can you present to us what Qonto is?
Qonto is a French company. We are paying establishments. We basically offer business accounts from freelancers to SMEs across 8 different European countries now. Our goal is to facilitate the daily life of every entrepreneur.
What is your function at Qonto? What do you do today?
I'm the head of customer onboarding. It's been 7 years now I'm working in the company. I started at bottom as a customer success officer. I moved my way up and now I'm leading 50 people internally and more than 300 externally with different BPOs.
Can you tell us a bit more about your onboarding function as a whole?
Yes. Onboarding is a primary function at Qonto. The first thing our new customers will see. The goal of myself and my team is to check every new registering accounts from new customer, and we're gonna do the KYC and KYB checks. Those are regulatory checks we need to make sure there's no fraud. Everything is okay in terms of risk. We look at the identity of the physical person. We look at the information about the business trying to register with us. And after doing those checks, we're gonna validate or refuse the accounts based on the elements we have or the extra elements we're going to need to request to customers. So this is the key step to have a validated account. This is the entry to have a fully functional account at Qonto.
And how many accounts are you opening every day?
So it varies around 4,000 every week. So it's a lot of volume. At Qonto, we offer different kind of accounts opening. Main ones are existing accounts for existing companies, but also we propose company creation in a few different markets like Spain, France, and Germany. So we help new entrepreneurs create their company with Qonto.
What are the challenges or the opportunities that you are facing with onboarding?
So onboarding, because we are scale up and an online business, historically, we bet a lot on the speed and agility we do have to make new accounts be validated fast. And because of the volume, that's the tricky part in terms of operations. So this is why we externalize a lot with different partners. We're trying as much as possible to scale the way we process the checks and the validation of accounts. But of course, as Qonto has grown in the past few years, we more and more under the regulator scrutiny. And because we are following the rules and we are under the ACPR review, we need to make sure all accounts opening are validated 100% qualitatively, meaning we need to respect internal and external rules. The main challenge we do have right now is to make sure we look at new accounts and check and validate this super fast in a matter of hours while being 100% compliant.
Is this the same for every market in Europe?
Markets have their own rules. There's some difference here and there. For example, France, our historical market, is way more mature than a new market like the Netherlands. So in France, we accept way more legal forms like associations, foundations, big companies. So of course, it comes with additional steps and requirements compared to a new market like Netherlands that we launched last October, where we only accept a fraction of legal forms. But basically, the goal is the same. We need to identify the person behind the account, all the ultimate beneficial owners, and making sure the company's activities, address, and business is following the UE regulation.
As part of this, you are using Forest Admin, and you started to get interest in having workflows. Am I correct?
That's exact. So we were super interested when we heard from the Forest admin team about the workflow. Why? Because With the volume we get, sometimes 4,000, 5,000 new accounts to check every week, it's not possible to not do human mistakes. It will always happen for one account. It's more than 20 steps we need to check. So it's easy sometimes to forget a tiny check, but to make sure we are 100% compliant for every case that we check, we needed to go to the next level. We need to have tooling to help us achieve this goal. So workflows provide us a way to have a checklist of the procedure that we need to check for onboarding cases directly implemented into our production tool, which is Forest.
And so what are the gains that you're seeing from having implemented a workflow?
There are several. The main one is compliance. Having directly our procedure implemented into our production tool on a small pop-up displayed while we review the new KYC KYB helps a lot of agents making sure they follow every step until full KYB completion or refusal. This is increasing compliance rate. That's the first step. The second one is the treatment time. We work with Zendesk and our procedures are implemented in Zendesk Guide. Before workflows, we needed to switch tabs between Forest and Zendesk. Sometimes one agent handles different cases at the same time. So there was chances of human mistakes and doing the wrong stuff on the right account. But now with Forest workflow, the things you're doing on the account is actually on the same tab. So we speed up the treatment time. There's no back and forth, and we can focus on only one case.
So how did the implementation go? What was your process overall in setting this up?
We talk a lot with the Forest team about it. And we started a pilot at the beginning of spring in 2025. We started a pilot on Belgium. Why Belgium? It's a new market. We launched back in October 2024. And unfortunately, we had some quality issues at onboarding in Belgium. Why? Because when I created the new Belgian team, most of our agents were coming from the previous French market team for obvious language reasons. The rules are varying a lot between France and Belgium in terms of internal and external procedures to follow. So last winter, out of many accounts we validated in Belgium, most of them weren't compliant. So we decided to react fast and use that opportunity that Forest Workflows provided to do a pilot on Belgium, which we launched successfully. And after a lot of involvement of different teams and kudos to Mohamed and Malt and Victor, of course. Now it's fully live and we are 100% compliant in Belgium, thanks to workflows in particular. There's no chance of human mistakes because we followed the procedure right away here on the computer, on the screen.
What was your process in deploying this? What were the different steps of this project?
Yeah, we did it step by step. Basically, first, we needed to review all the current procedures. Because Forest Workflows, the way in my mind it needs to work is to have a binary procedure. To make sure we compliant 1% of the time, the agent needs to follow binary choices at every sub-step. It should be a yes, should be a no. It should be a no, why, and then sub-steps, yes or no. If we leave too much room to subjectivity or free choices to operational agents, this is where we're going to make mistakes. This is where we're going to be uncompliant, which is going to put Qonto at risk. So we review all Belgian procedures. We reward them all. It took a long time to do so, but it was a needed process. Now our procedures are robust and successful. Then we needed to translate those HTML procedures coming from Zendesk Guide into a BPMN format to create trees and arborescence and translating those files directly into Forest. It's quite time consuming. It's not easy job. So thanks to that pilot and what we saw first with Belgium came the decision to create a new position reporting to me, ops tooling manager that will spend 80% of its time on creating and deploying Forest workflows. So now since June, we do have Audrey fully focused on Forest workflows because we need at least one person really aiming this from the procedure reference on each market, then to the deployment on Forest workflows.
This is part of a wider standardization process across European markets?
Thanks to that Forest Workflows initiative, because the pilot in Belgium was successful, of course, at Qonto, we do continuous improvements, and we love to replicate good improvements on every other teams and every other market. The logical follow-up of that Belgian experience was, okay, let's deploy Forest Workflows on all other markets Qonto is working on. But of course, we don't want to do that all at the same time for quality perspective and reasons. We want to make sure we select the right market to follow up next, create workflows procedure by procedure, check that it's qualitative. If yes, we move on to another procedure until we finish one market, and we do the same, etc., until all other markets. Right now, we're tackling Germany and then Italy, but doing so, thanks to Audrey being the upstream manager and having a view on all procedures that we're doing across 8 markets, she saw that for similar procedure, like the KYC validation procedure or the KYB validation procedure, we have tiny differences or discrepancies here and there across markets. We knew about that, but now it made it way more visible. There was a lack of standardization in the team, which is normal because we are a big team, 50% internally, more than 300 externally, 8 markets. So it's easy to have those discrepancies. But lack of standardization comes with lack of quality. And this is something, standardization, that we need to through the regulators. So one change now that we're doing in the team is to make sure every sub procedure is standardized. We use the same vocabulary. We try as much as possible to replicate the good things coming from one market to another, standardizing basically procedures across markets.
Have you seen an impact on onboarding teams on this tool?
Yes, absolutely. People are so happy, to be fair. No more back and forth switch of tabs on Google Chrome from Forest to Zendesk. It's way more intuitive. It also helps us make sure we don't forget small steps. So everybody's more happy about their work. It helps speeding up the treatment time. So everybody's happy to treat more cases. We are more productive all around. It's super positive.
Do you think this also speeds up onboarding, or does it facilitate recruitment?
So recruitment side, the good thing with Forest workflows is with standardizing procedures. A good Forest workflow for us is a flow, a procedure that you can follow, even though you know nothing about Qonto, onboarding procedures, etc., etc. The main goal is to have someone that is sitting at his computer, just follow the workflows step by step, validate or refuse a new case. So it helps us a lot to scale our operations. For example, if we do have a surge of new accounts of acquisition in Germany, let's say, and we need our external partner to recruit 20 people, we can easily speed up the training time and the operational time for them to be live and working on actual cases. Because thanks to workflow, we know they're always gonna follow the procedure, and we made it as clear as possible. As we discussed, it's binary, it's clear, simple.
Can you go very quickly around the goals that you've achieved through workflows?
We're trying to reach out 3 main kind of KPIs, of targets. We call it key results at Qonto. The first one is compliance. So out of all accounts we checked and validated, we need to reach 100% compliance. So workflows is helping us having clearer procedure, following from A to Z. We saw it on Belgium, we see it currently in Germany. So compliance is the main thing. The second one is speed. Contrary to a traditional bank, to open an account, you need to go physically into an agency. It takes time, sometimes days, sometimes weeks to open an account. At Qonto, opening an account and having an account validated, it's a matter of hours. For 75% of our new French customers, it's done under 3 hours, for example. So speed is one of the other key results we track in the onboarding team. Lastly, it's customer satisfaction. Every contact we do have with customer, if we need to request additional documents or information during the onboarding phase, we need to track if it was done with quality, if the customer is happy, of course. Because the customer happy right at the beginning of the relationship with a platform like Qonto, it makes the customer super loyal. He will spend a lot and spend more time with us than competitors. Workflows also help us on that customer satisfaction part. Because if we follow the procedure correctly, it's less chance to contact him for things we thought we need to contact him. So there's less chance to have a contact and maybe some dissatisfaction and back and forth over emails or chat.
Can you go really into what it means for someone who is using workflows in your team on a daily basis? What does it change for them? How are they using the tools on their end?
They go into Forest, they log in. All new cases we need to check from new customers. We segment them with another Forest feature called Forest Inbox. Basically, If I do have a new account opening, the agent handling that topic, go into the inbox. He says, okay, let's start the work. Click on the workflow button. It's just gonna need to follow step by step the workflow recommendations about that procedure for French company creation. Basically, double check all the information coming from the customer, making sure it matches with what we got internally or with external database. If everything is done, you click yes, it's done. The second step from the workflow is asking, okay, now let's review the KYC, the identification of the physical person, etc., etc. So it's way more clear, if I must say. It speed up treatment time. There's no more. What is the procedure again? I'm forgetting. Maybe I should go to the Zendesk guide. Okay, where is the information? Because it's messy, it's a huge text. Now with Forest Workflows, everything is here, displayed right at the moment you need it. It's a guided checklist. It helps us a lot.
You told me also about the risk of human error in your
Yeah.
job and how you try to reduce it as much as possible and how Forest workflows help with this.
With volume comes challenges. The more you're doing volume, more chance, of course, human mistakes will rise. As much as possible at Qonto, we love to review those mistakes to improve. Was it an issue on procedure not being clear? Was it an issue on training? Was it an issue on recruitment? Was it an issue of tooling? Or the computer is too slow? But sometimes, yeah, simple human mistakes, forgetting to do one extra check. It's easily forgotten when you're handling 100 cases a day. Forest workflows help diminishing a lot human mistakes because you cannot go to the next step if you haven't validated the current step, asking you if you have done that or that in a binary way. So it's an insurance for us to make sure we follow the procedure the right way.
Last question for you is really how you see Forest workflows help you with productivity going forward. Like, what are the next implementations that you are going to have in order to be more compliant and have a better customer experience?
We love the relationship we do have with Forest right now because we're discussing on a weekly basis. We are involved a lot in the road mapping of the next features. And one of the essential features that is happening right now and will be developed later by the Forest admin team is the use of AI directly into the workflows. The procedures that we follow are quite manual, but there's a lot of automatizations that we're doing right now and we can continue doing. Of course, we want to be qualitative. So first we need to do it manually. But the next step for us is to use AI, of course, to automatize simple checks, speeding up treatment time and making sure, thanks to the AI, it's always done qualitatively. So we remove, again, even more the human mistakes point. For example, what the first team has discussed with me is at one point, we will be able to use the AI to fetch those external informations in, for example, in France, on infograph or in directly to retrieve those KYC, KYB informations. So we can just complete it on Forest. Depending on previous actions or checks done on the workflow, the AI could suggest to do that or this. So again, it's about treatment time and quality.
Would you recommend Forest workflows to your peers?
So far, so good. I'm really happy about it. This is really what we miss to make sure we follow compliance and procedure every time. It's a huge work though, because as I said, we needed to review internally all our procedure to make sure they're binary, they can be really well implemented into Forest workflow. So I would suggest you have one or two people really handling this topic 100% of their time, at least for a company the size of Qonto, because we own plenty of markets and we have plenty of volume. If you have the right setup, the right organization, I think it's definitely worth it for sure. And it's only the beginning for us. We deployed it on Belgium successfully, 100% compliance. Now it's the turn to Italy, where we know we do have a lot of challenges. We definitely want Italy to win at the end of the year and next year. So Italy is the main focus, and Forest Workflows will be one of the key features to help us achieving our targets in Italy. So let's see. It's only the beginning.
Awesome. Anything you want to add?
No, thanks for having me. And I'm really glad also at Qonto to test those new features. And we love that you guys take the feedback and we can improve because this is in our DNA also. We launch stuff. Sometimes it needs improvements, but if we listen and if we spend time fixing it, it's going well. So we're going to continue that way.
And I think you have a good relationship with our team as well. So
yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, we know that both parties are leading each other. So, and we know each other well. We use the same vocabulary, similar kind of teams. So it's easy.
Great. Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you, Guillaume. Thanks for having me.